Have you ever wondered why some people at 70, 80, or even 90 seem to move with strength and purpose, while others struggle just to stand up from a chair? The answer often starts in your legs. Death, in many cases, begins here. Not suddenly, but slowly. As the muscles weaken, the blood flow slows, and mobility fades away. When your legs stop carrying you, your world becomes smaller, your independence fades, and your health begins a steep decline. Think about it. Your legs are not just for walking. They are your foundation, your largest muscles, your engines for circulation. Every step you take pumps blood back to your heart, keeps your brain supplied with oxygen, and maintains the rhythm of life inside you. But as the years go by, we lose muscle. Sarcopenia creeps in, unnoticed at first. It's not just a matter of strength, it's a matter of survival. Here's the truth. If you want to stay alive and vibrant in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, you must focus on your legs. And there's something simple, something natural you can start eating today that fuels this process. It's not a fancy supplement, not a magic pill, but a nutrient-dense food that rebuilds your muscles from the inside out. High-quality protein, paired with minerals like magnesium and potassium, found richly in foods like eggs, wild-caught fish, and leafy greens. These are not just foods, they are tools for rebuilding your foundation. But food alone isn't enough. You have to move. Even if it's just standing up and sitting down from your chair 10 times a day, even if it's a short walk around your house, that movement sends a message to your body. These legs are still needed. The body responds to demand, always has, always will. If you stop asking your legs to work, they stop working for you. And when that happens, everything else begins to shut down. Remember this, weakness is not an inevitable part of aging. It's a signal, a warning, and often a choice. In the book Younger Next Year, the authors talk about how movement and strength training can literally turn back your biological clock. You can build muscle in your 80s. You can regain balance in your 90s. The question is, will you start now, or will you wait until standing becomes impossible? Death may start in your legs, but so does life, vitality, and independence. Don't ignore them. Feed them, move them, challenge them. Starting today, eat the foods that rebuild them, take the steps that strengthen them, and refuse to let age dictate your ability to live. Because the moment you lose your legs, you begin to lose your life. But the moment you reclaim them, you take your life back. Have you ever wondered why leg health is directly linked to longevity and overall vitality in older age? Most people believe aging is something that just happens to the body, like a clock winding down, but that's not entirely true. Aging is often accelerated by neglect, especially neglect of the muscles and circulation in your legs. Your legs are not just tools for walking, they are the pillars that hold up your entire system. When they become weak, everything connected to them begins to suffer, your heart, your brain, even your immune system. Think for a moment about a tree. When the roots weaken, the whole tree begins to wither, even if its leaves still appear green for a while. Your legs are like those roots. They carry the largest muscles in your body, the quads, hamstrings, glutes, calves, and those muscles are constantly communicating with your heart and your brain. They help regulate your blood sugar, they keep your balance stable, and they even influence your mood and energy levels through hormones like myokines, which are released when you move. Now imagine what happens when you sit too much, when you stop challenging those muscles, when your diet no longer supports their strength. Circulation slows, blood pools in your lower body, nutrients stop reaching your tissues with the same efficiency. Your heart has to work harder to do the same job. Over time, this can lead to swelling, stiffness, and eventually a dangerous cycle where less movement causes more weakness, and more weakness causes even less movement. That's why leg health is directly tied to how long and how well you live. Studies have shown that older adults with stronger legs live longer, recover faster from illness, and have a much lower risk of falls and fractures, the very events that often mark the beginning of decline in later years. So when I say death starts in your legs, I'm not speaking in dramatic terms. I'm telling you that when your foundation starts to crumble, your entire house, your body can follow. But here's the empowering part. You can reverse it. Even at 70, 80, or 90, Your legs can get stronger, your circulation can improve, and your vitality can return if you give them what they need: the right nutrition, the right movement, and the decision to act before it's too late. How does weakened muscle in your legs signal the beginning of serious health decline? It doesn't happen all at once. It starts with the small things you barely notice: finding it harder to get up from a chair, taking longer to climb a few steps, feeling a little unsteady when you turn too quickly. At first you might think, oh, it's just age, but what's really happening is a quiet erosion of your foundation. When the muscles in your legs begin to shrink and weaken, it sets off a chain reaction throughout your entire body. Your legs are not only responsible for movement, they're your body's powerhouse. They are constantly pumping blood back to the heart, supporting balance, and keeping your metabolism active. Once those muscles start to fade, your circulation slows down, meaning less oxygen reaches your brain and organs. Your metabolism begins to slow, making it easier to gain fat and harder to keep energy levels steady. Even your bones start to lose density because the pressure and movement that kept them strong are no longer there. And then comes the most dangerous part. Inactivity breeds more inactivity. The less you move, the more your muscles shrink. The weaker your legs become, the less stable you feel. Suddenly, you start avoiding certain movements or activities because you fear falling or because it feels exhausting. This is the moment the real danger begins, not just physically, but mentally. Your independence starts slipping away, and your confidence follows. Falls become more likely, injuries more severe, and recovery times longer. Many people never fully recover from that first big fall, not because their body is incapable, but because their legs were already too weak to support a comeback. Think of weakened leg muscles as the first warning sign, a smoke alarm telling you that something bigger is at risk. It's your body's way of saying, act now, or the cost will be higher later. The good news is, even if you're in your 70s, 80s, or 90s, this decline is not set in stone. Your muscles can still respond, they can still rebuild, but only if you give them a reason to. The role of circulation and movement in preventing age-related deterioration is far greater than most people realize. Every step you take is more than just a step forward. It's a signal to your body that life is still moving, that your muscles are still needed, that your heart must keep pumping strong, and your brain must stay alert. When you walk, when you flex your legs, when you use those large muscles, you are pushing blood upward, back toward your heart, and from there, it flows to your brain and your vital organs. This is why movement is not just exercise, it's medicine. Think about what happens when that movement stops. Blood begins to pool in the lower extremities. Circulation slows down. Less oxygen reaches your tissues, your energy starts to drop, and your brain feels foggy. The lack of fresh blood supply creates an environment where toxins and waste products linger longer in your system. Over time, this sluggish flow doesn't just make you tired, it accelerates aging. Your body was designed for motion. The heart depends on the rhythm of your muscles to support it. Your veins rely on the natural pump created by walking, bending, stretching. Without it, your legs become heavy, swollen, and stiff, and this stiffness travels upward, into your hips, your back, even your mind. Movement, even in its simplest form, can reverse this process. It doesn't have to be running marathons or lifting heavy weights. It can start with standing up from your chair several times a day, or taking small but regular walks, even inside your home. Those little movements tell your circulatory system, wake up, start flowing, deliver nutrients, remove waste. Over weeks and months, this circulation nourishes your tissues, preserves your muscles, sharpens your brain, and even strengthens your heart. People often underestimate the link between circulation in the legs and overall longevity, but they are inseparable. A body in motion keeps life in motion. There is one simple yet powerful thing you can start doing today to protect your legs and with them your entire health. Eat the food that rebuilds them from the inside out. At 70, 80, or 90, your body's ability to recover and stay strong is not gone. It's just waiting for the right fuel. Most people at this age unknowingly underfeed their muscles. They eat enough to stay full, but not enough of the nutrients that keep their legs strong. The result? Weakness sets in, the muscles begin to shrink, and the downward spiral accelerates. So, what should you eat? The answer isn't complicated. High-quality protein is the cornerstone, because your muscles are made from it. Without enough protein, your body starts breaking down its own tissues, especially in your legs where the largest muscles live. Foods like pasture-raised eggs, wild-caught fish, and grass-fed meats provide this vital building block. But protein alone is not the full story. Your legs also need minerals that control muscle contractions and fluid balance: magnesium, potassium, and a little sodium. These come from foods like leafy greens, avocados, nuts, seeds, and even a pinch of unrefined sea salt. One meal, done right, can start the process of repair. Imagine beginning your day with a couple of boiled eggs, some spinach sautéed in olive oil, a handful of walnuts, and a glass of mineral-rich water. This isn't just breakfast, it's medicine for your legs. And if you've spent years eating in a way that stripped your muscles of what they needed, this is your moment to turn the tide. When you give your body these nutrients, something remarkable happens. Your muscles respond. They don't care that you're 80. They don't care that you've been weak for a decade. They only care that you're finally feeding them what they've been starving for. Combine that with even a little movement, and you begin to reverse years of neglect. Your legs feel lighter, your steps become more stable, and your energy begins to rise. This is the simplest form of medicine, and it starts with what's on your plate today, not tomorrow. Reversing frailty, even in your 70s, 80s, or 90s, does not require a dramatic overhaul of your life. It begins with small, intentional actions done daily, consistently, not perfectly. Most people think that once they start losing strength, it's too late. But the human body is remarkably adaptive. Even tiny movements send a message to your muscles and bones: you are still needed. And when the body receives that message often enough, it responds by getting stronger, steadier, more resilient. One of the simplest actions you can take is to practice standing up and sitting down from a chair, slowly, without using your hands if possible. Do this 10 times a day. It might feel too easy at first or too difficult if your legs are weak, but it's a foundation builder. Another is walking. Short, frequent walks, even if it's just down the hallway or around your home. If you can walk outside, the benefits double because sunlight gives you vitamin D, which supports muscle and bone health. Balance exercises are also vital. Standing near a wall or chair, practice lifting one foot for a few seconds at a time. These simple movements retrain your nervous system, strengthen stabilizing muscles, and reduce the risk of falls, the single biggest threat to independence as we age. And remember, the goal is not to run marathons or lift heavy weights unless you want to. The goal is to keep your legs engaged, your blood circulating, and your muscles awake. Consistency matters more than intensity. 15 minutes a day, done every day, will do more for you than 1 hour once a week. Your legs thrive on routine signals of activity, just as your heart thrives on a steady pulse, and your brain thrives on constant learning. These actions are not just about mobility, they're about life. The ability to rise from a chair without effort, to climb stairs without fear, to walk without hesitation. These are the markers of vitality. Each step you take, each small action you commit to, is a vote for independence, for freedom, for a longer and better life. The connection between movement, nutrition, and mental sharpness is one of the most overlooked secrets of aging well. Many people believe that memory loss, confusion, or slowed thinking is just an inevitable part of getting older. But more often than not, it's a reflection of how well your body is moving and what you are feeding it. Your brain is not a separate entity floating above your body. It is deeply tied to your legs, your circulation, and the nutrients you provide. When you move, your legs act like powerful pumps, pushing fresh, oxygen-rich blood upward to your brain. This circulation delivers glucose and essential nutrients that fuel your neurons, keeping them active and responsive. At the same time, movement stimulates the release of chemicals like brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which literally helps your brain grow new connections, improve memory, and stay sharp. People who walk daily, even slowly, often report clearer thinking, better focus, and improved mood compared to those who sit for hours without activity. But movement alone is not enough. The food you eat determines the quality of the fuel that reaches your brain. Processed, sugar-laden diets create inflammation that dulls thinking, makes you tired, and can even accelerate memory decline. In contrast, a diet rich in healthy fats, proteins, and minerals, such as omega-3 fatty acids from wild-caught fish, choline from eggs, and antioxidants from leafy greens, protects your brain cells and supports the energy production they rely on. This is why people who maintain strong legs into old age often also maintain strong minds. The two are connected by the same system: circulation, hormones, and the daily signals you send your body. Every step you take is not just for your heart, it's for your memory. Every nutrient-rich meal you eat is not just for your muscles, it's for your focus and your mood. The body works as one, and when you feed it well and keep it moving, you give your mind the best chance to stay awake, alive, and capable, even in your 8th or 9th decade.